Okay, so picture this, right? You're just typing away and boom, a whole 3D world pops up based on your words.
Yeah.
Like, that's some next level stuff, right? And Google's been working on it. It's just a small part of this huge battle happening for, like, who's going to rule the AI world.
Yeah.
Well, to really dig into this, we're taking a deep dive today into an article by Jay Poole from Tech Frontiers. It's called, "Is Google Still the King of AI? Sundar Pichai Throws Down the Gauntlet."
Yeah, and the stakes are really high, especially after what Sundar Pichai, Google's CEO, said.
Right.
Basically, at the New York Times DealBook Summit, he kind of threw down a challenge to Microsoft, like straight up AI showdown. Pretty bold move considering how much noise Microsoft's been making lately with their whole OpenAI partnership, right? I mean, they're integrating AI into Bing and like the entire Office suite.
Yeah, it's like a battle for the future of everything, how we work, how we search, even how we create. So what makes Google think they can stay on top? Well, this article by Jay Poole really gets into their whole full stack approach to AI. It's not just about algorithms. It's like this combo of years of research, some seriously powerful infrastructure, and global reach that few can match.
Right, and think about it. They've got over 15 products with like over 500 million users each. That's a crazy amount of data they can use to develop their AI, train it, refine those models. Most companies won't even know what to do with that much data,
And to handle all that, they've even made their own custom hardware tensor processing units, they call them, or TPUs. They're like purpose-built to make AI stuff run smoother and faster, like superchargers for AI.
Huge advantage, especially when you look at the stuff Google's doing with like text to 3D tech. Imagine just describing a scene and their AI builds a whole 3D model, just from your words. Could totally change things, everything from gaming to architecture.
Sounds wild. But even with all that, Pichai's admitted that AI development's getting tougher. He said the low-hanging fruit is gone, meaning we need way deeper innovation for those big breakthroughs now.
Yeah, it's getting way harder to reach that next level. And the competition is not slowing down either. Google's dominance is not a sure thing anymore.
So who are these contenders trying to knock Google off the throne? The article names a few key players. Microsoft, for one, with their OpenAI partnership. That's a big deal, especially since they've got GPT-4 in their products now.
Yeah, really strategic move, gives them access to some of the most advanced AI tech out there, but, relying on another company for something that important always comes with some risk.
For sure. And then there's OpenAI themselves. ChatGPT, their language model, it's like they captured everyone's imagination with that, made AI feel so much more accessible.
They're definitely pushing the limits of what's possible, but they don't have what Google has, that massive infrastructure, the huge range of products, all built over decades. It's kind of a David and Goliath situation, but with these massive tech giants,
Then there's Meta, right? They seem to be focusing on using their huge user base, putting AI features into their platforms. They've got things like Llama 3, their own large language model.
Tons of data for AI training, but they've also got those challenges, user privacy, potential bias in their algorithms. It's something they're going to have to address.
And of course, can't forget Amazon. They're more practical, it seems, focused on AI for things like e-commerce, their cloud computing with AWS, Alexa.
Amazon's strength is that business focus for sure. AWS is huge in AI infrastructure, and they basically own e-commerce. But they haven't made as much of a splash in consumer-facing AI, not like some of these others.
So with all these competitors, can Google really hold on to their position? This is the question Jay Poole's article really tries to answer.
Google's got a solid base, but things are getting intense, Nobody can just sit back and relax.
Before we go any further, quick reminder that this whole deep dive is inspired by Jay Poole's article on Tech Frontiers. Check out his YouTube channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think about this whole AI showdown. Okay, let's get back to this, unpack this whole world of AI innovation.
What's really interesting to me is it's not even just about, like, who's got the best AI right now. It's more like who can adapt the fastest, Because AI is changing so quickly.
Makes sense, kind of like survival of the fittest. But for tech companies, whoever adapts wins. So what do you need to win this AI race? Jay Poole's article talked about a few things.
Well, you got to have the research for sure, the really cutting edge stuff. You need those brilliant minds figuring out the algorithms and all those models. But even with that, it's not enough.
Yeah, you need the power to actually make it work, like those TPUs we were talking about, that infrastructure.
Exactly. That's what lets you train and run those huge AI models. You can't do it without the horsepower. It's like, what's the point of a super advanced lab if you don't have the electricity to run the equipment?
And then there's the data, right? Like The AI is only as good as what you train it on, and Google's got mountains of data from all their products.
It's like a chef, you know. The better the ingredients, the better the dish. And for AI, data is the key ingredient, and Google's got a pantry that's overflowing.
You still need the chefs, right? Even with the best ingredients, you need talent.
Totally. You got to get the best AI researchers, the engineers, keep them around. Companies are fighting over these people, offering crazy salaries, the chance to work on the coolest projects.
Sounds intense, like a high-stakes poker game, everyone trying to get the best hand, research, data, talent.
And you can't forget about the user experience, right? Even if the AI is super advanced, it's got to be something people can actually use.
Right. It's got to be useful, solve real problems, otherwise it's just a bunch of fancy code.
Think about ChatGPT. It blew up because it was something anyone could use, even fun.
Yeah, it's like when smartphones went from those clunky things to, like, part of our lives. We can't live without them.
Exactly. If people don't use it, the tech's not going to go anywhere. Same with AI. The companies that can make AI easy to use, that's where the real advantage is.
So it's not just about power, it's about making it work for people.
It's like you need a powerful engine, sure, but you also need a well-designed car.
To actually get you where you want to go.
Right. And with AI, where we want to go is a future where it helps us solve those big problems, make things better.
That's the goal, but we got to be real. There are downsides to AI too, right?
Of course. Like any powerful tool, it can be misused. People are worried about jobs, bias, and algorithms, even AI being used for bad stuff.
Jay Poole brings up those worries in his article. It's important to talk about this stuff.
We got to be smart about it, make sure AI is developed responsibly.
So we're excited about the possibilities, but we can't ignore the risks. Got to find that balance.
Exactly. It's like exploring a new world. There's the excitement, but you got to be careful too.
And everyone needs a say in how this all goes down. Can't just be the tech companies deciding our future.
Absolutely. The future of AI belongs to everyone. We all need to be part of the conversation.
So let's keep talking about it. Check out Jay Poole's article on Tech Frontiers. Join the discussion on his video. We want to hear what you think.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about, but kind of cool to imagine AI solving these huge problems like Jay Poole mentioned. What if we could cure diseases with AI? Or, make energy that doesn't pollute, even tackle climate change.
It could change everything, really. Think about it. AI could help doctors find diseases way earlier and make those energy grids way more efficient so we don't need so much fossil fuel. It could even help us really get a handle on climate change,
Like we're on the edge of something totally new, tech that could actually make the world better.
But we can't forget AI is a tool, right? And any tool can be used the wrong way. It all comes down to the people who build it, how they use it. That's where the ethics come in, right? We were talking about that. We need to make sure AI is developed the right way, thinking about people first, not making things worse.
Yeah. Got to be transparent, too, so we know how it works, how it makes decisions, what data it's using. Without that, we can't really trust it, can we?
It's like driving a car without knowing how the engine works. You might get there, but it's a risky move.
Exactly. We got to look under the hood, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to, not causing harm,
Which brings us back to that question from Jay Poole's article. Is Google still the AI king? They've got a lot going for them, but the competition's getting serious, and things change so fast in this world.
Maybe it's not about one company being king anymore. Maybe it's got to be everyone working together, the researchers, the developers, even the government, everyone.
It's going to take all of us to make sure AI is used for good, right?
That's why it's so important to have these conversations, to really dig into what AI is, what it can do, the good and the bad.
Well said. And on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI. Hope you found it interesting, something to think about.
It's been great exploring all this with you.
Big thanks to Jay Poole from Tech Frontiers. His article really got this conversation going. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this going. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.